It's the weekend, which means it's time for pancakes, more specifically, pumpkin pancakes. These are 1/3 cup oats, 1/3 cup pumpkin. If you're new here, I'm doing pumpkin week. It's 7 days of a pumpkin recipe every day. Walter is loving it, living his best life. But back to the recipe: cinnamon, 1 egg and 1 egg white, and baking powder. All measurements here in case you want a screenshot. And this batter will be super thick, but just let them cook all the way. Trust the process. It's what makes them so fluffy. And you know, it's time to treat yourself.
Here's another recipe that I make using green papaya. I'm cooking the pork belly in the air fryer. First, you spray it with avocado oil and lightly season it with salt. Air fry at 375 degrees for about 15 minutes on each side. It'll come out nice and crispy without all that extra oil. Boil the shrimp and then slice it in half. Then shred your papaya, add the crispy pork belly, shrimp, and cilantro. Topped it off with fish sauce and
This is literally the best, the easiest bougie appetizer that you can make for 2 ingredients from Trader Joe's. Some steamed lentils, some bruschetta sauce, okay? If you're not vegan, get some feta. I'm actually not even vegan. I don't know what I said that, but I don't eat dairy. So optional is feta. I'm gonna go microwave these lentils. Super easy. You just take the whole thing out of the package, put it there, and poke it a couple times. Be back in 2 to 3 minutes after it's done microwaving. Now you're just gonna take your lentils, get them going in a bowl. Oh my god. Update, scratch that. This is way too much lentils. Take out about like that much and set aside. And then add the whole thing of bruschetta. Bruschetta. So this is what she's looking like. I swear it tastes so good. Okay, taste test time. I like to pair it with these pita chips. And it's just so good.
Yes, people, today we're making 4 ingredient chicken tenders. Start with a buttermilk, some hot sauce, give it a stir, slice some chicken booby, cover in the sauce we made and some breadcrumbs. Then we deep fry. Then we got us some crunchy and tender chicken, boy.
Many of you ask me, what do I eat? Keep in shape after having 4 kids, 1 graduating high school.
Hello, shrimp egg custard today.
This is a low carb, high protein, very easy recipe. We're mixing the eggs and water, then adding more protein, the tofu, in the bottom of the bowl. Filter the egg mixture into the bowl, putting some broccoli and shrimp.
Cover with a plastic wrap on high for 20 minutes.
When it's done, topping with some soy sauce. This is how my circus like to eat this as well.
Are you eating low carb and miss things like cinnamon rolls? Check this recipe out: Keto Cinnamon Roll Truffles. Take a half a cup of mozzarella cheese and 1 ounce of cream cheese. Heat in the mic for 30-second intervals, stirring in between until really well melted together. Then add 2 tablespoons almond flour, a half a teaspoon baking powder, half a teaspoon cinnamon, and 2 tablespoons of powdered swerve. Knead it all together by hand until well mixed. Add 1 egg and mix on high until super smooth. Pour 1/3 of the mixture into the waffle maker. Now this recipe makes 3 truffles and it's 2 net carbs per truffle. I mean, this is awesome. While those are cooking, it's on to the yummy icing. We're gonna whisk together in a small bowl 2 tablespoons of heavy whipping cream, 2 tablespoons of powdered swerve, and a half a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Once those truffles are done, stack them up, pour that icing on top. So yum.
Eating cookies for breakfast needs to be an essential part of your morning routine. But seriously, these 5-ingredient vegan breakfast cookies, or brookies as I like to call them, are as healthy as a bowl of oatmeal, but as tasty as dessert. As always, that full recipe will be in my caption, so smash that follow button and enjoy.
Here's how you can make cloud bread pizza without an oven. Put 3 eggs, some cream cheese, and baking powder into a bowl and mix. Take a second bowl, add in your egg whites, cream of tartar, and a pinch of salt, and whisk everything together. Keep whisking until you've got stiff peaks, and then add in your mixture to your first bowl. Gently fold it together because you don't want to break the egg whites. Once everything's mixed well, pour it into an oiled pan. Cover with a lid and cook on low heat for 25 minutes. Now you need to flip your cloud bread to cook the other side. Once again, cover with a lid and cook on low for 10 minutes. Now it's time to assemble your pizza. Add your tomato sauce, mozzarella, and whatever toppings you want. Cook on low for 5 minutes and you're ready to serve.
This is one of my favorite snacks to eat for lunch. It's easy and so simple to make. Start by mashing up 1 can of garbanzo beans. Add celery, onions, and diced jalapeno. You can add whatever else you like. Throw in some non-fat Greek yogurt, mustard, and lemon juice. Season it with salt, pepper, and some red pepper flakes. Mix it all up. You can serve this with chips, pita chips, crackers, or any vegetables.
I'm going to show you guys my favorite breakfast for weight loss, and it comes in only 233 calories and it's super filling. So I start off with 1 piece of turkey, dice that up into little pieces, and then get 2 tablespoons of corn, 1 green onion, 1 jalapeno. Chop them all up and then spray your pan with nonstick spray. Throw everything into the pan and saute them for about 2 minutes. I add salt, pepper, and everything bagel seasoning. Remove from pan and spray with nonstick spray again, and add in half a cup of egg whites. Swirl them around and cook them for a little bit, and then add in your filling. Put 1 slice of mozzarella cheese on there and cover with the lid for a couple minutes. Once the cheese is nice and melted, flip the other side of your omelet onto the other half and press down. I season with salt, pepper, and everything bagel seasoning, top with a little bit of avocado, a little bit of salsa, and a little bit of cilantro.
For this cabbage and pico de gallo mix that I added on top of my empanadas, I shredded half a head of cabbage, 2 tomatoes, 1/4 of an onion, and 2 pickled jalapenos. I also added a handful of cilantro and some of the juice from the pickled jalapenos. I gave it a good mix and I just put it on top of my empanadas with some chipotle sauce as well. But this is also good with your...
You really need to try this 2-ingredient pretzel. It's just made from a cup of self-raising flour and Greek yogurt mixed together. Now you're going to see other ingredients, but it's to cook them and it's all optional. So divide them up into quarters and make pretzel shapes. Then boil some water with baking soda if you want them to get really fluffy like that. I've brushed it in egg wash, which adds flavor, bake in the oven, and then afterwards brush with some butter and of course sea salt, and that's it.
I like to call these Keto Twinkies. First, you cut the casing off the sausage, flatten it out, throw some peppers in there, put a little cheese, roll it back up, throw those bad boys in the frying pan, flip them. Cheesy goodness.
Alright, let's set the record straight because this is the only way you should be cooking your ahi tuna. I had a bunch of people comment last time that I don't need to say ahi before I say tuna, but that's what it says on the package, so that's what I'm going to say. Also had a bunch of comments asking where I get sushi grade tuna. I got these fillets in the freezer section of my grocery store. I don't know if they're sushi grade, but from my understanding, sushi grade just means that it's frozen at a certain temperature. Anyway, pat your fillets dry and then coat them in a mixture of white and black sesame seeds. The sauce is coconut aminos, sesame, the juice of an entire lime, and some ginger and garlic. You're going to want to get your pan piping hot with a high heat oil. I'm using avocado oil, and sear them for no longer than 30 seconds on each side. I think I cook these absolute perfectly, but I know you guys are going to tell me what you think in the comments. For more easy recipes like this, be sure to hit the follow button.
How to make the best miso salmon. It starts off with 3 tablespoons of miso paste, 2 tablespoons of mirin, 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, 1 tablespoon of ponzu and sesame oil, and 1 tablespoon of sake. Mix and set aside. In the meantime, slice your salmon into 3 fillets and marinate in the miso mixture. Preheat your oven to 400 degrees and place on your salmon fillets. Bake for 15 minutes and broil for the last 5. I'm topping mine with furikake, and I like to serve it with white rice.
Let's make a creamy Parmesan spinach and shrimp fettuccine. Put some fettuccine noodles on to boil. Toss 1 pound of large shrimp with basil and season lightly with salt and pepper, then saute in butter over medium-high heat until just pink, then transfer to a plate. Add 1 tablespoon of butter to pan and saute 2 shallots until translucent. Then add 3 cloves of minced garlic, cooking until fragrant. Stir in 3/4 of a cup of chicken broth and 4 ounces of fresh spinach and cook until wilted. Pour in a half a cup of heavy cream and a slurry made of 2 teaspoons of cornstarch and 1 tablespoon of chicken broth. Stir until combined and the sauce starts to thicken. Add a half a cup of shredded Parmesan and stir until sauce is thick and creamy. Return the cooked shrimp to the pan, stirring to combine all ingredients evenly. That looks so good. Add your cooked fettuccine and toss until combined. Serve with your favorite crusty bread and enjoy.
Here's how to make a bloody brain cake. Get yourself a box of red velvet cake mix and follow the directions on the back. Cut parchment into strips and line an 8-inch stainless steel bowl, and then pour in your batter, leaving about 1 inch from the top. Bake for 1 hour. Meanwhile, whip 4 sticks of room temperature butter for 5 minutes. Then add 2 pounds of confectioner's sugar and mix for 3 to 4 minutes. Add in a tablespoon of vanilla extract, a tablespoon of milk, and your red food coloring. Mix one more time and then set aside. Once your cake has completely cooled, you can flip and remove the parchment and carve like so to resemble a brain shape. Next, you're going to frost and then chill in your fridge. Add 1 small drop of red food coloring to 2 pounds of vanilla fondant. Knead until the color is fully mixed in, then roll out into logs and strategically place on your brain, creating squiggly lines. Make sure you leave a distinct line down the center of the brain to create a more realistic look. Now for the bloody effect, you're going to brush on red seedless raspberry jam. And you're done. Enjoy!
Tonight's dish, Linguini Diablo with shrimp, inspired by my favorite restaurant in Redmond, Washington, called Papaya. We're going to start with a nice cab and a handful of garlic. Start with chopping the garlic. Cover the bottom of the pan with olive oil. And add a half a cup of extra virgin olive oil. Add your garlic. Add the pasta. Cook the garlic until it starts caramelizing. Add some red pepper, and salt. Add a cup of white wine. Add the shrimp and cook 3 to 5 minutes. Chop up your fresh herbs, basil and parsley. Strain your noodles and add them into your shrimp mixture. Add 2 ladles of water. Add the herbs. Add the cheese. Enjoy!
Let's make yellow cake mix fancy. Honestly, after trying this Oreo Ripple coffee cake, I'll never go back to using yellow cake mix the regular way. First, you want to start with 1 box classic yellow cake mix, 15.25 ounces. Add 3/4 cup water, 2 eggs mixed together. Then in a separate bowl, you're going to mash 24 Oreos. Add that to the bowl with 1/3 cup flour and 1/4 cup melted margarine or butter. Mix that together, add 1/3 cup chocolate chips and mix. Then in a bundt pan, I didn't have one, so I used a loaf pan, and 6 muffin tins. Add half the batter, half the Oreo mixture, the rest of the batter, and the rest of the Oreo mixture. Bake at 350 until a toothpick comes out dry. Then you're going to let those cool and make the topping. You want to start with 1 cup powdered sugar and 3 to 4 tablespoons water. Mix until you get your desired consistency. Then put it all over. Follow me on TikTok and Instagram for more recipes.
This is an ancient tonic that naturally kills bacteria, viruses, and other pathogens, and it's simple to make with herbs that you can get in your supermarket. In addition to detoxing and boosting immunity, it can even help you burn calories and lose weight. Start with a 1/4 cup of chopped garlic, a 1/2 cup of chopped onion, 4 tablespoons of horseradish, which you're going to peel the skin off and run it through a cheese grater or chop it into small pieces. Then about 2 thumb size worth of both garlic and ginger, and I like to put these through the grater as well. Then 2 fresh habanero peppers and cayenne peppers chopped. Then put all the contents in a mason jar and fill it up with 23 ounces of apple cider vinegar, or enough to cover up all the contents. Shake this up and let it sit for at least 2 weeks and shake daily. I usually take about 2 tablespoons a day, especially when I'm feeling some kind of illness coming on. For the full video with explanations of the benefits and more on how to use it, you can find a link in my bio for the full blog.
I want those delicious potatoes, please.
Here comes the tastiest lesson in evaporation. That's it. All we're gonna do is reduce, just bring it down. Baby potatoes with water, and then we're gonna hit it with some flavor. Garlic, shallots, sprig of rosemary, and a big old nub of butter. Next, we go 4 glugs of extra virgin olive oil. Yes, that's a lot of fat, but when the water evaporates, the fat penetrates the potatoes and makes them oh so tasty. 20 minutes later, we've got ourselves a glaze, and we smash those potatoes in the head because, well, we're the boss. And with every twist of the pan, the potatoes are gonna come a little darker, a little more caramelized, a little crispier, and a whole lot more delicious. We garnish with 1,000 chives and a little bit of lemon squeezy. You need to make this on the regular. Full recipe will be on our Insta. We'd love it if you dropped a follow.
Oh my god, that's so good. Thank you.